Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dhamma of Peace series number 33. Four types of individuals and past lives hard work. Satipatthana and Parami. Today's talk shed lights on how and why a person got enlightened. So I need to discuss some events of the storyline for Buddha and his many disciples. That storyline will explain what the heading is about. After Bodhisattva Gautama became a fully enlightened Buddha on the full moon day of May, he headed towards Mikadawana forest, where 5 hermits who had attended him while practicing austerity methods and left when the Buddha to be give up his austerity path. These 5 ascetics, actually, they were the court astrologers. And when Siddhartha was born, they predicted that Gautama would be an emperor or a Buddha. And because of that, they wanted to listen. They believed in their focus so much. They wanted to listen to his first sermon, first Dhamma talk. So they became hermit and followed Gautama and attended him for 6 years. 6 years, Buddha worked very hard, all different types of method, mostly austerity method because it was quite popular at that time. But finally he couldn't find what he's searching. So he started again to eat some food, and at that time those 5 hermits think, oh, no, the Buddha has given up. I don't think he will become Buddha. So they left him. But after they left, the Buddha practiced the middle path and became Buddha soon after that. So, on the full moon day of July, the Buddha delivered the turning of the wheel of Dhamma to the 5 hermits. So when he got enlightened, he thought, those 5 hermits have attended me. I'm grateful to them. I'll go and give them the first sermon. So he followed where they live, another forest. And there, to make the long story short, he delivered the first sermon, the turning of the wheel of Dhamma, the Vajjaka Bodhana. And while he was delivering, before the end of that sutta, one of the ascetics called Kuntinya, he's the eldest one, became Satipatthana. the first stream winner, Arya. Just by listening to the Buddha's Dhamma talk and contemplating at the same time, and he became a Satipatthana. That kind of person, listening to the Dhamma and contemplating right away at the same time and became a Satipatthana, or let's say see the Dhamma. We call it see the Dhamma, knows the Dhamma. Such a person is known as Vipinsi. Pali word Vipinsi, Tinyu Pugalo. In other words, Vipinsi, individual. Vipinsi means what I have just described it. One listen to the Buddha's teaching, at the same time contemplate, and suddenly became a Arya, the first Arya, Satipatthana. That's one way they call Vipinsi. So such a person, they call it Pugala, but in English translated as individual. Vipinsi, individual. So this one type. But we know there are 5 hermits. After the end of the sermon, only one become a Satipatthana, the other they have to practice. They practice. And as they practice, in the scripture is said, on the first day, the same day when the deliverer was on the first day, Buddha, the name is called Buddha, he became a Satipatthana. And the second day, Baddiya became a Satipatthana. On the third day, Mahanama became a Satipatthana. And on the 4th day, after the sermon, Attaji became Satipatthana. All Satipatthana, not Arahant. Whenever we say see the Dhamma, right away is you have to go to the first stage, Satipatthana, the first stream winner in English. So, here's another one. You listen to the Dhamma. After finish listening it, you have to actually practice. Practice. And you become the first stream winner. Such a kind of person who attain Dhamma or who becomes Satipatthana after practicing is called Naya, individual, Nayya, Naya. What Naya means is what I just described. And on the 5th day, after the first sermon, the Buddha delivered another sutta, another discourse, called a sutta or discourse on non-self, anatta lakkhana, discourse on non-self. Only after that sutta, all 5 of them become the Arahant. So those 5 Arahants are the 5 first Arahants of the Buddha. And once you become a Satipatthana, of course, they have to become a bhikkhu. Bhikkhu is the ordained monk. It's symbol at that time. Bhante or Lord Buddha, I have seen the Dhamma. May I become your follower, disciple, monk. And then Buddha said, okay, you are a bhikkhu now. Ehi bhikkhu. That's it. One has to willingly ask and the other has confirmed you are. So those are the first 5 arahants the Buddha has. That is 5 days after the delivery of the wheel of Dhamma summon. So we have seen 2 ways now. One way is vibrancy, individual, and another way it becomes is neya, individual. But there are 4 ways. One can achieve Dhamma. Whenever we say achieve Dhamma, it means Satipatthana, becoming straight learner. Keep that in mind. There are 4 ways. As there are 4 ways, there are 4 types of individuals. Individuals are like a stood out alone, that kind of thing, I guess. Dignified person. So individual with a capital I. So 4 ways to become a Satipatthana. Therefore, there are 4 types of individuals. Why these 4 types? Because they apply different amounts of hard work in one's previous life. Because people always practice, not just you just start practicing now and then become a Satipatthana right away. They had practiced in previous life. And in the previous life, when they practice, they apply different amount of effort. Different amount of effort. And that is called, in Pali, what is called parami. You have parami, you don't have parami. In other words, you have practiced a lot before. You have practiced very hard before. You have practiced supremely, extreme effort, ardent effort, that kind of thing. That's called parami. Amounts of hard work one put in the previous life in the practice. If one has used a fair amount of hard work, one will have above average intelligence to attain Dhamma. More like cause and effect. Application of the effort and the practice is the cause, and the intelligence you attain in this life is the effect. Cause and effect. If one works much harder, one will have great intelligence. If one has worked extremely hard, one will have supremely sharp and penetrative intelligence. So a person's intelligence in this life is determined by the amount of hard work one has put in the previous life. So that's why they have 4 different types of individuals, because there are 4 levels of application. Okay, at the end of Vasa, because the Buddha talked to those 5 monks in the full moon day of July. And that's the beginning of the rain retreat. End of Vasa means full moon day of October. That is the 3 months. That's why nowadays the monks have 3 months rain retreat. That's how it becomes. At the end of Vasa, on the full moon day of October, Buddha and the 5 arahants headed to Uruvela forest. The name of the forest is called Uruvela. And the reason the Buddha headed to that is, in this forest, there's 1,000 hermits lived led by the three brothers, lived there. They lived there, and also they are practicing so that they could get rid of all suffering. That is the intention. But every group has a different way of practice. The intention is the same, to get rid of suffering. So there's 1,000 monks led by three brothers dwell in the Uruvela forest to end suffering. So Buddha arrived there end of full moon day of October, and he stayed there for 3 months and taught Dhamma to all of them. And all of them at the end of 3 months became arahants. So the whole group. So October, November, December, January, 3 months. So in January, the full moon day of January, Buddha and his disciple arahants, they moved to another place. They recited at the Veluvana forest. That forest is near Rajagaha city. That's another kingdom. In the Rajagaha city, there's a very rich man called Anathapinka Kada. He donated that forest for the Buddhas and the monks and the arahants to live, dwell, and practice, because it is not too far and not too close to the city, so they can go arms round easily, and at the same time not in the city, so nobody really disturb him except people who want Dhamma will go there. So once they settle in that place, Veluvana forest, of course they have to go arms round every day. On the first day, they went arms round, and when you go arms round, you have to go to the village or the city. Here is a Rajagaha city. Arms round Rajagaha city. And in that city, at that time, there was a person named Upadisa. Okay, this name is important. Upadisa. 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 And he is a disciple of another teacher. Another teacher his name is called Detti Parapisa. The teacher is. That under that teacher, the Upadisa is practicing. Of course, they are always practicing to conquer death or to get rid of suffering. That is their objective. But they have to follow what the teachers taught. And this Upadisa saw a monk. That monk is the Atazi, one of the 5 first arahant, the last one. Atazi. And when he saw them, he was really impressed, because the monk is very composed, very mindful, and in all manners and behaviors. He knows when he's stepping forward, he knows when he's going backward, he knows whether he's like looking at sideways or front. He's aware of his hands stretching and bending, collecting food where people donate it. So everything is, let's call it, perfectly mindful. So he's very graceful and very well composed. Ataji. So this man, Upadisa, saw him. As soon as he saw him, oh, this is a man who will have a true Dhamma to escape from all suffering, or to escape and find deathlessness. At once, he decided this is the person, just from watching at the manners and behavior. and he follows the monk all the way out of the city. And because the monks collect the food in the city, but they don't eat in the city, they walk outside the city into the woods and pick up an appropriate place, sit under the tree and eat. And Upadisha follow him, and when he sit down there and eat, at that time he couldn't help it. He's not his student, but he performed all the attendant would. Clean the place, bring the water, and so on, because his heart is full of sada. And after that, he asked the monk, "Who is your teacher?" They don't ask who you are. Who is your teacher? And what view does he take? In other words, what is the teaching like? And the Arahant Atasi answered, "My teacher is Buddha, and his view is cause and effect." That's it, that's the answer. My teacher is Buddha, and his teaching is cause and effect. And as soon as he said that, right after that, Upadisha understand what is meant, everything about the Buddha's teaching, cause and effect. Buddha's teaching is cause and effect. And only those two words he know what it is at once. And as he know what it means and understood, he became Satipatthana on the spot. Just hearing the word Buddha is the teacher and cause and effect is the view, he became Satipatthana. Such kind of a person is called Uggati individual. Uggati, Uggati, Uggati individual. So another individual now. So what does this Uggati mean? It means a person who's like a charcoal, a burning charcoal covered with ash. There's a charcoal burning, but on the top is covered with ash. Let's say the ash is blown by the little wind, or the ash being discarded, suddenly red hot burning charcoal will pop up. Instantly popped up. That's what Uggati means. Uggati's individual only requires a short statement or a line of Dhamma to become Satipatthana, because their intelligence is supremely sharp, penetrative, knows just by hearing a line or a word or a sentence. They understand. That's Uggati individual. So I repeat again. Uggati individuals only requires a short statement or a line of Dhamma to become Satipatthana. And then suddenly he was so happy, he then went to his best friend, because he was practicing under that teacher, Ditti teacher. Him and his best friend, Kolika. His best friend is Kolika. And told him what had happened. Just retell the story. And after Kolika heard the story, became Satipatthana as well. He just said, the teacher was the Buddha and his view is cause and effect. Both of them are extremely intelligent because they have practiced so much, so hard in the past life. That's another type of individual. They both went to their teacher, because they still have the teacher, so they don't just dump that. Their teacher, Deiti Pabasikara. In other words, he has a total different wrong view. I won't go into details. And he has a 500 disciple too. 500 disciples, and these two and the teacher, he went there. And they retold the story to everybody. The teacher and the 500 students. And they say straight out, we are going to follow the Buddha. So, if you like, please join us. All the 500 students joined, but the teachers, no. I live with my view. Your view is wrong. And the teacher said, in this world, are there more fools or are there more wise people? Of course, they answer, there are more fools in this world. Okay, you take the 500 from me, go to the Buddha. But as there are more fools, I will have a lot more coming to me. I don't need to go. And he doesn't. He has the opportunity, but he didn't. So these 500 and those two friends, Upadesa and Kalika, went to where Buddha lives, asked them to be ordained. And then the Buddha gave a sermon to all of them. All 500 become Arahant, but not Upadesa and Kalika. I'm stressing a lot on these two names. The reason is when it becomes a bhikkhu, Upadesa is Venerable Sariputta, the right-hand disciple of the Buddha, who is the most intelligent person, bar none, except the Buddha. And Kalika, his monk's name is called Venerable Moggallana. He has the psychic power, highest bar none except the Buddha. The left-hand disciple, Agasawaka, the top disciple of the Buddha. So those two are the Upadesa and Kalika is the layperson name. The monk's name is Sariputta and Moggallana. And they did not become, the other 500 become Arahants right away, but they do not, because they have specialized in a different way. Venerable Moggallana specialized in psychical power. So while he was practicing, he is analyzing, dissecting, playing, displaying everything about psychic. So it takes a lot more time. And also Sariputta is when he was practicing, he is analyzing every Dhamma, upside down, inside out, back and forth, forth and back. As he was doing that, it takes a lot more time. It took 7 days to become Arahant for Moggallana, and it took 14 days, 2 weeks, for Sariputta to become Arahant. It is not that they don't have parami, but their specialization is so deep, so much, they have to walk those things through with the Dhamma Buddha taught. That's a reason. So we have now 3 types of individuals now. The fourth or the last individual. That individual practiced hard in this life, but he does not attain the Dhamma, meaning he does not become a Satipatthana. Because his parami, past life hard work, is not mature enough yet. That's why he doesn't become a Satipatthana in this life. But he works very hard in this life. But in the previous life, it is not much up to snuff. However, they build up parami for the next life. Such a person is called Pada Marabat individual. Pada Marabat individual. What it means is what I just said. They practice very hard in their life, maybe extremely hard, but still they don't become Satipatthana because their parami is not that full yet. That's the meaning of Pada Marabat individual. So to summarize it, the whole thing, I told with a storyline so that it knows how it comes, where it's about. These are the typical example to explain these individuals. One type of individual one is one who attains Dhamma by hearing a lie. Okati Tenju individual. Second type is one who attains Dhamma by listening to an expanded version of Dhamma. In other words, you have to talk a lot, the whole sutta. It's called Vipansi Tenyu individual. The third one is one who attains Dhamma by practicing after hearing the Buddha Dhamma. It's called Neya individual. And the fourth and the last is one who does not attain Dhamma in this life, even though one applies hard work due to immaturity of parami. Pada Maramat individual. So there are 4 types of individuals, and there's 4 different settings of how one becomes Sotapanna. May all of you strive hard to become Sotapanna by practicing mindfulness, insight, meditation, and see the Dhamma as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.